So today I've got another Hims and Hers video for you, and today we're going to be talking about how big GLP is going to be for Hims and Hers. There was 3 reasons why I wanted to do this. First of all, I didn't really have that much time to kind of have a lot of research into it yesterday. I had about an hour to get the video together for you guys, so I didn't feel like I gave you that much good information. The second thing is that I felt like yesterday's video basically ended up with me doing a victory lap for the first 10 minutes and showing off. So I thought, okay, we need to actually do some proper detail here. And the third one is that I think that a few people saw the share price jump yesterday, and a lot of people went, yeah, it's good news, but that's a big jump and I'm up over 100, 200, 300, 400%. Maybe I should sell it here. And I felt, you know what? I think people don't actually realize how big of a news or how big of a gain this is for Hims and Hers. So yeah, let's take a look at it. Now, just to let you know, the posters are finished, and this is the final design of version or generation 2 of the uninvestable Hims at $3.11 famous quote. If you do want to get one, links in the description. I'm only going to do 50 of them, guys. They're all going to be numbered, and I'll scribble JKR invested on them. So if you do want them, click on the link in the description. They're £11.99, which I don't think is too bad for this poster. And something to help you remember that even at $3.11, people say multi-baggers are uninvestable. So you can remember that next time we go through a bear market. Apart from that, let's get some Hims and Hers. So yeah, I mean, obviously a very good day yesterday. Have a little bit of profit taking going on there, which is fine. I think a few people have taken a bit of profit off the table, and I would not blame you for taking a bit of profit off the table when you have such a big jump like that on that sort of day. But let's have a look at how big this is, because I don't think a lot of people realize how big of a contribution this could potentially be going forward. So in 2018, the first full year with Ozempic out on the market, which was the first kind of injection that was available. So the injection that Hims and Hers are going to be doing, this GLP, is an injection that makes you basically not that hungry. You don't have that feeling of hunger. So with that, not having that feeling of hunger, you are obviously not going to eat. That helps you lose weight. Now, that has basically now been taken on by a lot of celebrities, and a lot of celebrities have come out and said that the reason why they've lost weight is because they've been taking this, and it's gained a lot of popularity. So this first came to the market in 2018, and this was a little bit out-of-date information, but you can see here that the growth has been very impressive. So you can see there's been over 9 in the last 3 months of 2022. There was more than 9 million prescriptions. That meant that it accounted for nearly 65% of the total prescriptions at the end of the year for the business Novo Nordisk's net sales, which is absolutely huge. This is a very massive company as well. And in the first 6 months of 2023, you can see that the sales of Ozempic and Wegovy, which is the other version of it, rose by 58% and 363% respectively. So that's in 2023. Now, since that time frame, there's even been an even bigger increase in that time frame. And in fact, there's that much demand for it, there's not enough supply. So we saw this product first come around in 2018, and the sales have just increased and increased and increased. And even now in 2023, 5 years later, 2023, even 5 years later, the sales are still growing absolutely insane. Now, there has been other companies looking to come into this area. So there is other companies like Eli Lilly, for example, that are moving into this area as well. And now Hims has joined this here. But the thing is that this area is massive. This is probably one of the biggest. Hims and Hers has always been a company that has been in kind of a ED space, a hair loss space, but this here is something that affects so many people. This is a major multi-billion market. So even though there is going to be potentially a little bit of competition here, there's that much market size they could take. We're talking not just thousands, but millions of clients that potentially could come to Hims and Hers. And this is a treatment that you tend to take for maybe 3 years, 4 years. The fact that this is, and you're also going to probably have more of a consistent crowd that kind of comes in. It's a potential really big market for the company that they've entered here. Probably the biggest one so far. And if we look at what they're going to do, they're going to charge for the injections $199 a month. $199, which is way below what the market is charging at the moment. I think the market is charging $400, $500. So ultimately as well, what we've seen with Hims is that they disrupt the markets they go into. Even though there's been competitive markets before, whether it's ED, whether it's hair loss, whether it's mental health, We've seen them come in these markets, they disrupt the market, they take bigger market share. We saw how fast they were growing to the likes of like T-Doc, for example. They disrupt the market, they make it affordable, easy access, and they take a lot of market share. And it looks like they're on the pay. Once again, they're going to do it again. This is a very good price. And you think about this growth previously has been with the struggle to get demand, which Hims and Hers have come out and said we won't have supply issues. And also this was with very high prices. If you were paying for this, you had a fair decent amount of money there. Whereas Hims and Hers has made this a lot more affordable access as well. And it's also something they can majorly take, not just in the US, but in many other countries as well. Now, it said that even if I added compounded GLP-1s to its portfolio, it said that it was going to expect 100 million in revenue by the end of 2024 in its weight loss program. It's probably going to update it going forward, but even a lot of the company's guidance so far doesn't have that new access to the GLP in there. So that's also something that's really big to factor in. Now, the other thing to factor in as well is that they've already come out and said this is their fastest ever growing category. Now, we've seen what Hims and Hers have done, first of all, from a guidance point of view. They're always very light on the guidance and they over-deliver. If this is over-delivering, this is going to be a major contributor as well when they do get around to it. The other thing as well is that we've seen the growth with smaller markets. We've seen the growth that they've had in ED and hair loss that we talked about earlier. Imagine this market. This is probably the biggest market they've entered now. So you've seen how fast they've grown previously. Imagine the growth that they potentially do going forward now with entering this sort of space. If I quickly flick on Google, they should have the last quarter's numbers. Last quarter they were up 45% in revenue. Net income was up 210%. All this is going to do is increase this even more. And a lot of people talk about valuation now, saying, "Oh, the valuation's gone up very high." Yeah, it's gone up very high, but the reason why is because it's not just gone up because we're going up for the sake of it. This is going to contribute. This company's already growing revenue at a major amount. It's already growing income at a major amount. You just added potentially a multi-billion market space into the company's financials, so it's going to go up on the share price. It's already executing perfectly, but this is a major another driver into the business. And before this, the company was trading at 50 forward times earnings. Realistically, even now, whatever it might have gone to 80 forward times earnings, you go out there and pick me a company up that is growing 45% year over year. You go pick me another company up out there that's got 80% gross margins, that's starting to throw off this profitability, that the EPS is up 200%. You just can't do it, guys. And then when you actually start adding onto these numbers, okay, what potential numbers could they do with this new weight loss injection that they've got access to? And just to show you some numbers about how quickly this could actually start ramping up. So if they have 10,000 clients, which I think Hims and Hers have like 300,000 subscribers, so that's only like 3% of the current subscribers, which is definitely not going to happen. It's definitely going to be a lot more than even that. And you think about the potential market size, I think there's probably, 100 million adults, but there's actually 70 million. So there's 70 million adults in the US that are obese, okay? So that's a fair chunk of the market to kind of go for here. So, realistically, let's say 10,000, 50,000, 100,000, which even at 100,000, we're even less than 5% of the US population here. But just to kind of put that into context here, if they do 10,000 at $199 for 12 months, that's 23 million. If they get up to 50,000, that's going to be 119 million in revenue a year. If you look at, if they get to that 100,000 mark and they have them clients for 12 months, that's going to be 238 million in revenue, which is crazy. Assume that they make 65% profit margins on it, which we'll see if they do get to them sort of scales. I think it will be probably somewhere like that. That's 154 million. Okay, and now if you look at the current guidance for Hims and Hers in 2025, the current guidance in 2025 is for 68 million profitability. Now this was before this, so if you are now going to make 154 million, you talk about 272 million in profitability in 2025, which is a really big ramp up from where they are right now. But then if you start thinking, well, if they do 272 million in profitability, the company's growing at, very impressive rates once again. I mean, realistically, you are looking at a company here at a 3.8 billion market cap doing that amount of profitability. All of a sudden, you talk about a company that is very cheap. Now, obviously, that is assuming a very big scale up, but that shows you if this product, if HIMS are able, and HIMS move so fast, if they are able to take a lot of clients, I mean, even if they take the bottom number of what we are predicting here, if they only get to like, 10,000 clients, it's still going to be a major improvement in the profitability. So the stock isn't rallying up here just because it's good news and it's getting carried away. There's going to be, this income and operation and the revenue has started coming in today. This will hit the earnings in the next quarter. And it's not just some hopeful news. This is genuine revenue and profit contributor from today. And that's why the share price has reacted so positively. And I know that people look at this going, well, I don't know, that jump looks a bit unrealistic. And I won't blame you for going, you know what, I'm going to take a little bit of profit off the table here. That's what we're here to do. We're here to make money. I won't blame you for taking a bit of profit off the table. But people that are going, oh, it's overvalued, I don't know. Like, you've got a company here that's probably deserving of a new contributor of revenue and profitability that could potentially be the biggest product ever. They're already saying they're going to do 100 million in the weight loss category without this, or even just a little bit of contribution. And they're already saying it's the fastest growing category. I don't know why you'd want to sell out completely of a business just because it went up 30%. Why would you want to sell out a business that is executing to perfection and bringing these products to market so well and so quickly? Why would you want to sell a business like that? Why would you want to sell a business that is, growing 54% a year and growing net income at 210% a year with, 80% gross margins? You just can't. I cannot find another company out there on the market that is doing that. So why would you want to sell that? It's all right saying you'd sell it, but then what are you going to go buy? Because I cannot find a company out there that are executing to the Hims and Hers level. So why would you want to sell? Like, it's okay saying, oh, I made some money, but at the end of the day, you're going to have to put that money somewhere in the market. And if Hims and Hers could potentially be let's say a $40 stock in the next kind of 2 years, yeah, it's okay selling now, but you might potentially be missing out on a stock that then goes up another 100% in the next 2 years. And then, especially if you've got a really nice average of, $6 or something like me, if the stock does go from where we're at now to, let's say a $6 stock, you're going to be talking about a stock there that has nearly 7x'd in that time frame. And I tell you something, guys, to find another stock that 7x is quite hard to do. I've been doing this game for many years, and the only stocks that I've found that have basically gone onto a 7x kind of level have been Tesla and Celsius. Well, I guess Hims has kind of done it, but it's not the average that I had. But it's Celsius and Tesla, and I guess you could kind of say Hims really. It's very hard to find a 7x stock, guys. I've done this for many years, and I think I've only ever been able to produce 3 of them. I've had a couple of 300-400% returns, but to find a 700% return is very tricky, guys. So don't move away from them when you do find them, guys, because this could be a really nice performer for many years overall. So yeah, that's my thoughts, guys, because I had a lot of people asking about selling it, and I'd just be very careful. I don't blame anyone for trimming at all, especially on such good news, but a complete sell of a company that's executing like this, I've never seen a company execute like this, guys. And I don't know why you'd want to take it out of your portfolio, but hey, it's your choice at the end of the day. It's your choice, it's your money, and you've got to make the decision that's right for you. But yeah, it's I think I'm very happy with what's going on here, and this could be, I think people are sleeping on how this is going to be, from today, a big £1 million driver on a profit and revenue point of view for the company in the next 2 years. So, I mean, were you expecting the stock to go down on that news? I don't know. So, yeah, that's my thoughts anyway, guys. Hope you enjoyed the Hims and Hers video. And I'll try to do one tomorrow. I'm going to try to do a video on the UK inflation that comes out hopefully tomorrow. And hopefully it's positive news. Hope you enjoyed it. See you in a bit.